Woo! Look at them GameStop profits. Yeah! Wondering where the market's going? Is the sell-off in tech overdone? Is GameStop going higher? Find out on this stock market recap.
This is the man who's gonna make us rich.
This is the man?
Yes.
This man lives in a cardboard box.
This just in. It's the stock market recap.
Oh, what is up, everybody? Sorry for the lack of videos the last few days. So I've been dealing with let me move my mic. I just got out of the gym too, so I'm a bit of a mess right here. Really short on time. Most of you don't know this, but I actually run a multi-million-dollar my own business. And we've had some legal issues these last few days, weeks actually. I've been dealing with a legal situation. Nothing that we've done wrong, which is hopefully being resolved by the end of this week. And I hope to get back to making more videos. So let's jump. Without further ado, let's jump into the charts and see what the market did today.
Ooh, charts.
Okay, so the very first stock I want to take a look at is GameStop. So I know I've been bearish on GameStop. Well, that changed earlier this week. And the reason why is because I saw what the chart setups were getting ready to do. And me and a few of the trading guys got long today GameStop, and we made a nice little profit in the span of about 30 minutes. So once I realized what this setup was, this is when I switched to a long GameStop last week. And this is when I saw this. This is a giant cup, and this is the handle. This is a classic cup and handle. And it's in my opinion, it's a very, very good cup and handle. Plus, you've got all this, look at this volume. This is beautiful volume coming in here on the handle. And it's just every day, a little bit higher, pop. Now, the big question is, will GameStop go higher? The Magic 8 Ball says yes, GameStop has room to go. If we drew a fib extension based on the previous high, let's adjust this a little bit. It's a little off, gotta have good drawings, right? Okay. The new high is around 218, which I don't think, what's the high we hit today? 210. We got room to go. But I know what a lot of you are thinking. GameStop $500 or bust. Well, you may notice that the final level on the fib, 100%, 516. Do I think GameStop will get there? 50-50. Do I think GameStop's got more room to go? Most definitely. So for all you people who thought I was short GameStop, nope. I am now a GameStop bull. All right. Next, we're going to look at TQQQ, which is, actually, we're going to look at the NDX. So if anybody listened to me, which I know nobody did, but if anybody had listened to me on the weekend update, I had entered a trade at TQQ, and I said that the NASDAQ was going to drop. You can go back and there's video evidence. Go back and look. So if you had entered that trade where I had said around 90-ish, you would be up a pretty penny right about now. Those calls would have paid off handsomely. Now, the real question is, how much longer does the NASDAQ have to go down? Well, that I don't know. But what I can tell you is this is a significant bottoming tail. In fact, I'm actually shocked that the market even dropped today. So much so that I was and am long Amazon, which we'll look at next. But this is a massive bottoming tail. Generally, these signals are very reliable, especially when you have a tail this big. What do I think is going on? I think the markets are shaking out the weak hands in tech. There's absolutely no reason for tech to have fallen the way it did, other than people are cycling out of growth. That's what the media is saying, right? The investors are cycling out of growth stocks. Who cycles out of a growth stock? Nobody. Growth's where all the money is. It makes no sense that investors would cycle out of growth stock. Especially, and I want to draw your attention to the RSI here, oversold growth stocks. That makes zero sense. So right now, what's on my buy radar? Well, let's go through them. First up, Apple. Fantastic company, right? I loathe them. I hate Apple. I hate Apple as a consumer because they have a monopoly on everything. But I love Apple as an investor because they make lots of money. Apple on the day chart. You can see that on the long-term regression, Apple's actually bouncing off. Now, where's Apple going to go? Where's the line in the sand? The line in the sand of Apple, and I don't think we're going to get here, guys. So much so that I actually already went long Apple today, at least 100 shares. And I'll continue to average in over the next few days or weeks. But see this white line? This is your line in the sand right here. This is your major, major bounce. If Apple goes through this regression and comes all the way down, I'd say you're getting a good, solid, healthy bounce around 107, 108, okay? You may close this gap down here, but this is the thing about these types of sell-offs. And if you watch Jim Cramer, he's going to tell you the same thing. The final leg of the sell-off will be the worst. You'll have the biggest, steepest drop, and it'll scare the bejesus out of everybody, right? Everyone will be falling over themselves to sell. At the same time, that will be very short-lived, and it's going to spike right back up. Again, though, you've got a bottom. This is what's known as a dragonfly in the candlestick. You've got a bottoming tail here. So for it to go another red, this is defying, in my opinion. This action today in tech defies logic. But there's a saying on Wall Street, market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. All right, Amazon's up next. So what I want to draw your attention to on Amazon is we've also mapped out a hardcore buy level, which is 251, or I'm sorry, 2951. I actually was able to pick up some really nice calls right around here at the very bottom because I had this level mapped out. And when we had that big sell-off on Friday, I picked up some calls and made some money on these today. On some of them, at least. Made a couple thousand on the ones that I sold. And then, foolishly, I held on to a longer-term one. I've still got 11 days left on this one, but I think Amazon's going to rebound. It's probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest company in the world. It makes the most, if not all of the money. So, you know, it's really hard to bet against a stock like this. And I know it seems bleak, right? Because tech's just cratering right now. But this is a lot of red. This is oversold, okay? That's on the week. Look at this on the day chart. And remember, the longer, you really want to do longer frame time charts. They give you a much clearer picture of what's going on. Again, you've got a massive bottoming tail and then another day red. What do I think's occurring? Well, let's take a look at the options market. I think that there's a lot of net long positions in tech. I do. Well, I think there was. There was a lot of net long positions in tech. And I think this was the market's way of shaking out a lot of those. And what are we seeing now after such a terrible close post-market? We're already seeing a 20-25 point rise, okay? So the way you can tell, though, is really looking at open interest on these things, okay? Look how much volume was traded today. 8,000 of these. Whoo-wee. And these are a good deal, too. Only $2,800? I'd be stupid not to buy that. Where do I think Amazon's going? I think Amazon, this is the thing. I'm going to start really loading up on these if they don't snap soon. And this is why. I thought Amazon was going to get a nice, you got a nice little inverse head and shoulder on the 15, right? Shoulder, head, higher shoulder, okay? And you always want your second shoulder to be higher than the first. Otherwise, it'll give you a lot of people don't understand that about inverse head and shoulders. You want them to be slanted up. And sure enough, we almost had completion here and then sell. Okay. I think that's the market shaking out weak hands. Do I think we're going lower? Maybe. We may retest. I've told the traders in my group, double bottom, very, very possible. And you'll know it'll dip down really, really fast and spike really, really fast back up. And that'll be your confirmation that this bottom, at least a temporary bottom, has been reached. I've heard through the grapevine, through others, several very good traders that they think we're going lower, but they think there's two real possibilities. We go back up first, close all those gaps, and then really drop, or we just get it all out of our system now and have a nice bull market for the next 2 years. Personally, I'm a fan of number two, but we'll see. All right. So Amazon, I would look to enter in at 2881. You could definitely do at these levels with this amount of sell pressure. You could do this with short-term calls and really, really capitalize and leverage your money if risk is your middle name. All right, Tesla, everybody's favorite whipping boy. All right, let's remove these. I was doing a video on the different types of trends: short-term, intermediate, long-term. Obviously, the short-term on Tesla is down. Let's look at this on a day chart. Ooh wee! Ooh wee! That's a drop. Oof. All right. So the real question is: Tesla going lower? Probably not much lower. I think you're going to get a good bounce here. This is the long-term trend on the day, right? 563. Where's the next level? Well, let's look at it on a week, and I'll show you. This is the problem, is when you have a parabolic move up, you generally got to have a parabolic move down. But if we want to look at a longer term, we can draw a regression. I mean, you could probably get a bounce around here too, 442. And then the low end of this is probably 280-ish. So, you know, this is the thing about buying these. Don't buy these down. It's like catching a falling knife. Don't buy the dip. Wait for the bounce. Wait for confirmation. It's not going to spike right back up. It's not. It's going to bounce. You'll get confirmation that this downtrend has done, and then you buy. Okay. What else do I like right now? Well, you know what's recently come on my radar? Broadcom. This, in my opinion, is a screaming buy. Again, though, we might be going down to this as the long-term trend line. Why do I like Broadcom? Well, chipsets right now, semiconductors are... I don't know if anyone understands how big the demand is for these right now. This is why the PS5 and all of these gaming consoles are constantly sold out, because the manufacturers can't make the chipsets fast enough. Not only that, Broadcom has instituted what's known as a no cancel order policy, which means if you place an order with them, you are not allowed to cancel it. So they can lock in that revenue. And Broadcom has been locking in a lot of revenue. I think they're a great long-term buy. And they pay a nice divvy too, don't they? They pay a fatty divvy. All right. Last but not least, let's talk about Altria. This is not a growth stock. This is a dividend stock. And what you're seeing right now is because of yields. That's the 1 hour. Because of yields skyrocketing and everyone is cycling out of growth, dividends are now where it's at. And Altria had a gangbuster day, up almost 4%. It broke its long-term down channel. So the long-term trend on Altria is what? Up. Now the intermediate trend is down, right? And what do we see here? We see Altria on the short term busting out of this. Altria's got a lot of room to run, all right? It's at the bottom of the long-term channel, which means it's going to come up to the top of this. It might take 2 years. Granted, Altria is a slow moving stock, right? But it's gonna go all the way up to the top of this here. Let's extend this to the right, all the way to the top of this channel. Okay, maybe by the end of this year it'll hit the top of this channel, 50, 55. Maybe it'll get through, and maybe in 2 years it hits the top of this channel, 70. You got a lot of room to run. You're getting in right at the bottom, and it pays a fatty dividend. You can't say no to them dividends.
It's the chart of the day, and I am not Morgan Freeman.
We have a user request, real quick. IQST. IQST. I don't know what they do, but let's jump in real quick. IQST. IQST on the Mixtel. All right. Day chart. Let's get rid of these. I did map this out for one of our subscribers' requests. Okay, this is on the day chart. Ooh, look at this thing. So I don't know what these guys do, but what I do know is this is a lot of volume coming in, right? This is a lot of good, healthy volume. This would have been the time down here to have gotten in. Once you have a spike like this and a full 100%, extension, which you do, it's generally less of a lucrative play. Now that being said, if you want to know, the long-term low on this is around this line. And then is it going higher? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I can tell you that it's setting up what's known as a classic pennant formation. And this is generally what you see after a parabolic rise. Okay, maybe some bouncing around in there. I can tell you this too. This is a lot of very healthy volume. If these guys have a good, and this is what a lot of beginning traders and stuff don't understand. You want good fundamental underpinnings to the stocks you own. They need to be financially solid stocks, because when the market goes into correction mode, if the stock doesn't have a solid financial backing, or at least just a plan, they're going to crash. There's nothing holding them up, and they come right back down. Okay? All right, guys. Again, subscribe and like if you want to see more. I really like doing these. We're making money here in our trader group, and I would love to help everyone out and give you guys more trade ideas every single day. So subscribe and like, and stay tuned for the next market recap. All right, guys, that does it for today's market recap. Again, if you want to see stocks and other things mentioned, go ahead and hit like, hit subscribe, post in the comments.
Crabs is sewage proof and depression proof. We're gonna sell these on the street. We're crab people now. Crab.
We're crab people now?
Yes.
You want us to become crab people? That's your new business plan?
We'll live and die by the crab.